All right, so let's talk some Cleveland Browns football. The Browns are back, right? This was a very good performance. I think if you're a Browns fan, you're feeling great about this win after the season has been disappointing early on. What's crazy about it is, there is this whole Odell of it all, and it's hard to talk about this game without bringing up a guy who no longer plays for the Browns, Odell Beckham Jr., and I do think it's fair to say, the Browns are probably better without him. And I know that seems crazy. It seems like a hot take, but honestly, it's probably a hotter take to say the contrary at this point. Because, if you look at it, the way that they've spread the ball out in this game, the leading receiver in terms of targets was Jarvis Landry with 5 targets. No receiver had more than 3 catches. Landry had 3, and Landry also only had 11 yards. He had the least amount of yards out of guys who got a catch. Everyone else had either 2 or 1 catch. In fairness, Mayfield only threw the ball 21 times, but he still hit 8 different targets with this, which is, it's pretty crazy. And it does kind of go to show the way that having basically, no reason to throw to anybody and just, hey, feed the ball around, who cares? It's all about moving the ball down the field. That helps things. It also helps things that Nick Chubb can, be very effective. That's the case with or without Odell. But he had a huge day in this one as well. So let's just kind of get into the film study and talk about what went right for this Cleveland Browns team. So let's start off with this one. What's going to happen here is this is kind of what the Browns do so well. It's just they have guys who can run their routes effectively, and sometimes it's less important to have one elite receiver than it is to have 3 guys who can just do their role, or in this case, just 2 guys. What you're going to do is you have a receiver run over the middle, and another receiver, Donovan Peoples-Jones, is going to run kind of just deep basically right over the middle of the field. So the idea behind this is there's only one safety on this play, and he has to make a decision. Does he come in, or is he going to stay deep? And if he stays deep, which he typically does, this can set up the over-the-middle route. And by which he typically does, I mean which most safeties typically do. So typically what you're expecting is for there to be a route over the middle that gets open. However, when Mayfield takes this snap, the safety comes in, so Mayfield takes the shot deep. And you almost could even see from back here, his eyes get wide the second he notices this. So you still have a corner trying to cover Peoples-Jones, but that's just a really difficult situation. And especially one that's Eli Apple, who isn't, the best corner to say the least. Not like he's an NFL player, right? But it's still, that's a tough situation. You think you have safety help over the top, so it's really just a good job by the Browns putting themselves in positions to succeed. And look at Mayfield. It's a good throw. I mean, it was wide open, but still, good throw from Mayfield, and they get a touchdown just like that, and are, those big plays absolutely can be backbreaking for a defense. You can get a couple of those a game, you're going to have a good offense. That's just the reality of the situation. And there's also stuff like this. I want to talk about some of these other guys because, kind of the whole thought of this offense is, okay, Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr., at least in terms of in the passing game. But it's these other guys that are really coming through. Peoples-Jones. You also have Anthony Schwartz, who's going to run a really good route on this one, where it's going to be it's a man coverage. Bengals played a lot more man. I wonder if it's because of how bad their zone coverage looked last week against the Jets. They're switching things up a little. But anyways, you see his route. It's a good route against this concept. Yes, there is kind of, a couple of zones where he's going to be near. But, as long as he can get open quickly, there will be time for Mayfield to make this throw. Watch how when Mayfield takes the snap, you're going to notice, he juked out a defender so hard, the defender is currently on the ground. So anytime you can do that, you're doing a good job if you're Schwartz right there. So, again, the fact that these kind of lesser quote-unquote receivers can still do this stuff is awesome for Cleveland. And this was against Mike Hilton, who's, not a star, but he's at least, my compliment to him wasn't he's an NFL player, like I said for Eli Apple. So at least, you're getting a better player there. And again, throw hits Schwartz, and you're going to get a good gain there. So again, stuff like that. That's just, smaller stuff that can work very well. How about this next play, where you're going to have a halfback in the game that Mayfield is throwing to, and it's not the halfback you would typically expect right here. You're thinking, okay, who is it? Is it Nick Chubb? Is it Kareem Hunt? Are you going Dearness Johnson here? And I know Hunt's hurt, but the reality is it's neither of those guys. This is Demetric Felton, who's going to get his one touch of the game, and it's going to be quite a doozy of a touch. It's a 3rd down and 5, and you have a one-on-one matchup with him, so they're going to look this way. It's against a linebacker who they feel like they can attack in this man coverage play because, linebacker covering a halfback, and he's actually running a double move right here where he's going to fake as though he's going to the outside, but then get over to the middle. So, again, kind of Cleveland, the craziness of what they do is they'll say, hey, our 4th-string halfback, you can run a double move on a route, which most teams won't have their 1st-string halfback do. And look how when Mayfield takes the snap, you're going to see right here, okay, you get the linebacker to bite because this is not his forte. You have another linebacker who's reading this play. He's in what you call the hole right over that middle of the field, and he sees what's happening. He's going to try and get over and make this play. However, Mayfield gets the ball there quickly, perfectly accurate, and then you're going to get a pretty decent gain on this one. So little stuff like that. It's not always the name on the back of the jersey. Sometimes it's just getting someone the ball quickly and, putting them in this good situation, and that's what happened there. We got to talk about this play now. While we're giving credit to kind of, this is kind of a fun video actually because I'm giving credit to so many different guys. How about a guard? Let's give Wyatt Teller some love. Wyatt Teller, one of the more fascinating players in quite some time. He was considered just a depth guy for forever, gets a chance to start in Cleveland and turns into one of the best guards in the league. Really fun stuff by him. But what's going to happen is, so he's going to make the key block. It's a pull block where he's going to, pull all the way around and block someone at the 2nd level. So he has to get there quickly. That's a big piece of this. And right when this play starts, he is going to be able to pull over, and he does get to that spot where he wants to. And then watch how he's going to be able to then finish off this block. I mean, this looks like a WWE style move. You get Nick Chubb to the 2nd level where now a safety is coming in, and he's kind of the last line of defense right here. It's actually Eli Apple, but he appears to be in a safety position, which is why I'm referring to him as a safety on this play. Nevertheless, watch what's going to happen. Chubb can accelerate past him, and once you make that one move, there's really no one left. Chubb is going to get all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. So really good stuff all the way around by, everyone, involved in that play. Chubb, the entire offensive line. But I'll give more love to Wyatt Teller, but Chubb did a really good job on that one as well. This is why their running game can be so effective. Now let's go over to a play like this. This is another good example of kind of, setup routes are a key aspect of this Kevin Stefanski offense. And so having, again, I'm not going to crush Odell too much, but it's fair to say it wasn't a great fit. And part of it is Odell's the kind of guy where you just say, hey, you go win this matchup. You go in a one-on-one situation and just try and win it, which is not what Stefanski wants to do. Stefanski would probably want Odell to be sort of a decoy on a lot of plays, but he probably doesn't want to do that. So I kind of get it's a tough fit for this offense, I think. But a play like this is kind of a good example of where, guys working together can get players more open than just one guy trying to win a one-on-one matchup. So what you do is you have Peoples-Jones and you have Harrison Bryant currently lined up to the offense's right. Peoples-Jones is lined up closest to the sideline. He's going to run a deep route that's going to eventually go over the middle. The goal of this, get the deep corner to follow him over the middle. Then you have Bryant kind of, go into that direction eventually. He starts off just running to the sideline and then basically just follows, Peoples-Jones's footsteps. I always try to just say the last part of that. And eventually Bryant could get open. A linebacker could read this play and try to stay back, but that's still a decent situation for Cleveland. Watch, that's going to be exactly what happens. Is it's actually not a linebacker, but it's 24 right there for Cincinnati. That's safety Von Bell. Depending on who's lined up there, it could be a linebacker, could be a safety, could even be a corner, depending on the positional thing. That stuff doesn't matter too much. He reads the play well and is trying to get there, but again, it's just a tough situation because it's a good concept. Mayfield's going to make this throw and you are going to get a good completion right there. So another guy contributing right here. And again, it's not just one guy, it's several guys working together to move the ball down the field. And also, we should mention, there are still stuff like this where, okay, on a one-on-one matchup, you have a receiver running a go route. It's Donovan Peoples-Jones. And they can still win in these situations. They don't need several guys working together to scheme up players who are open. And that's a key distinction, because you're not going to always be able to scheme up guys getting open. Sometimes you need just someone to win in this situation. And that's why they went out and got Odell, assuming he could be that guy. But they have other guys who can do it. Like on this play, watch what happens. Mayfield takes the snap. Peoples-Jones is going to, run to go route here. And Mayfield's right here, so there's a window to hit. And for whatever reason, Mayfield and Odell always struggled to get on the same page. And that just happens with some players, and you can never really expect that to happen or not happen. Sometimes that just is how things work. But Mayfield hits Peoples-Jones, and, Peoples-Jones takes a big hit, but they get the ball inside the 5. And the fact that they have that chemistry, it's like, listen, if Odell Beckham Jr. runs that route, maybe he gets more open, and maybe Mayfield misses him, right? So at that point, well, what's more valuable? And, Peoples-Jones got about as open as you can get. So you kind of would rather have the guys who you have chemistry with than the guys you don't. So yeah, that's what I think about this whole situation. Fun stuff. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.